It came time for the baby to come. She birthed her firstborn, a son, and laid him in a manger because there was no room in the inn. You see, God, from the beginning, had a messy plan. It was a plan to save the world. But first, he was going to have to send his only son.
Where does the God of the universe send his son? Where does the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, where does he come? He comes to a barn, a stable, a manger of all places. And a manger of all places. Think about that for just a second. Why would he do that? It was a messy place indeed. It was certainly no place for a king. But this wasn't any ordinary king.
That's right.
You see, this was a barn. It was a stable by all means. But it had animals and animal stuff like manure and mud. It was too messy for any person to be in, let alone for the King of Kings to be born.
Yeah, but why would God do that for us? I can't tell you for sure, because it's like the prophet Isaiah said, his thoughts are not our thoughts, and his ways are not our ways. But 700 years before Jesus was even born, he also said, all we, like sheep, have gone astray. Each of us to our own way. And that God laid our iniquities on him. You see, Jesus came to a messy place, a barn. Yeah, it's pretty messy. But the fact is, he came to a messy world.
And why would a king actually come to a messy world? Because he wasn't just a king, he was a shepherd. He was a shepherd that was coming to take care of his sheep. He was a shepherd who was making a way for his sheep to be able to come home. And why would he do that? Because that's exactly what a shepherd does. You see, a shepherd comes down and lives amongst the sheep. And he comes to sleep where they sleep at. He comes to eat where they eat at. Why does a shepherd do that? Because that's precisely what a shepherd does. You see, there was an angel who had spoken to the shepherds in the field a long time before that, and it said that there would be a sign. There would actually be a sign unto you, that there would be a babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, and you'd actually find that babe in a manger, a feeding trough.
A sign. But what was the sign? Maybe it was that Jesus could be accessible to everyone. That the God that owns the cattle on 1,000 hills could relate to a homeless person. See, Jesus never had a place to call his own. He never had a place to rest his own head. But maybe, just maybe, it was a sign that God would have nothing to do with the social status of mankind. That it's really of no worth to him at all. That God would hold no value in what humans call splendor.
What do you think this sign would be for? Maybe it was a sign that we should probably follow suit and do the exact same thing. See, it was the Apostle Paul when speaking to the church at Philippi, and he actually said that we should have this exact same mindset as Christ Jesus, that though he was actually God, he did not count his equality of being God as something that he should hold on to or that he should cling to and put above everything else. And instead, he actually gave up his own very divine privileges. And he laid them down, and he was born to us as a human.
Fully God and fully man. He took the humble position of a servant. Because being a servant is naturally a messy and humble job. So he set an incredible example for us when he got down on his knees and washed feet. The God of the universe, like the God who is deserving of everything, got down on his knees to wash feet. So the God who came to the world and was placed in a manger, a feeding trough. It's just surrounded by the mess of a stable. So, why such a messy place? Because he had a plan. Yes, that first day was dirty, and it was grimy, and it was uncomfortable. But we thank God for it. Because without it,
what a mess we'd be in.